All right, guys, so this video is for Walking by Andrew York. A couple of things to look out for are the accidentals. Remember, accidentals stay throughout the measure. So if you look at your first measure, that G sharp is going to be sharp for the entire measure. All right, so you got G sharp, 4th fret, 1st string. All right, you have an F sharp, they're in the same measure, 2nd fret, 1st string. All right. So those two things to look out for because there's a few of them. Now, if you go over to measure 10, you're going to notice that there is the natural sign on the G. All right, that's just to remind you that it's gone back to natural and it's no longer sharp. All right, so it's just a reminder, nothing crazy. Right after that, you have an F sharp, 2nd fret, 1st string. Okay. In the oh, that wasn't the 10th measure. That was actually the 7th measure. Sorry. I thought the measures were, numbered, but they're actually not. All right, so that was measure 7. Measure 8 has the G sharp in it, 1st fret, 3rd string. All right, nothing too crazy. Keep on rolling down. I'm not seeing anything crazy until we get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines down. 5 lines down. 4th measure, you have the F sharp, 4th fret, 4th string. All right, something to look out for. It's also in the 4th measure on the 6th line down. All right, and other than that, there's no more accidentals. So you got F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, 1st fret, 1st string, G sharp, 1st string, 4th fret. This G sharp over here, which is the middle of the staff, 1st fret, 3rd string, and you also have F sharp on the D string, which is 4th fret, 4th string. Other than that, there's nothing real crazy. Now, we're done with that. Let's talk about the rhythm, all right? And this rhythm is going to come back throughout the piece. So you have 3/4 notes with an 8th note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right, so that rhythm is going to come back in a lot of places. All right, so remember the ands for your 8th notes, 1 and. All right, the other rhythm that you see a lot is the dotted quarter followed by an 8th. Now remember, when you have a dotted quarter followed by an 8th, it's going to have the entire beat, and then it's going to steal from the next beat. It's going to steal the downbeat, all right? So if you look at your 2nd measure, what you see is 1, 2, 3, and. All right, so you have that dotted quarter followed by the 8th. All right, watch out for that. They're everywhere. All right, so let's move it on down. You have a bunch of low notes. All right, we've gone over low notes by this time. Low E is there a lot. A's, everything on the A string. I think the only thing that you're going to play on the E string is the open. All right, so other than that, everything else is on the first 5 strings. Not too rough. Let's play a couple things from it. So you're in common time. 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was the first 2 lines. If you look at the next 2 lines, they're very, very similar. In fact, I'm looking at them. They only add a low note in the 4th measure of the 3rd line. That low note's new. Everything else is the same. All right, so if you learn the first two lines, you have the second 2 lines as well. All right, easy peasy. Nothing too crazy. Let's skip on down to the 5th line down. You start with a low E. It actually goes minor for a second. All right. So let's talk about that. You have a couple stretches. So you start here with the A minor. So all right. So 1st finger, 4th finger is what I'm using. All right, now from there, I'm dropping down my 2nd and my 4th. just like that. So I can use my first finger. All right, just like that. And then now I played an open B the first time, but it's last measure of the fifth line down. You're actually going to play F sharp with the D. All right, so use your second and third fingers. All right, now it repeats that that idea again with a little bit of embellishment, but I'm looking at it, and it adds a low note in the second measure and a low note in the third measure, and then in the fourth measure it changes things up a little bit. So we're looking at line 5 and 6. And they're very, very similar. So I'm going to play, let's play 5 one more time. Six. So watch out for that. There's just some low notes. We're looking at line 6, so starts exactly the same as line 5, right? But then it changes. All right, so D formation. So octave Ds with the F sharp with the little second finger. So if you hold that A down in this is a 6-line last measure, hold that A down. Just hold it down the entire time until you get to the, all right? And then you're going back to the top ideas with a couple embellishments. Retardando there at the end. Notice how that I'm playing the second note. This is the second to last line down, but throughout, whenever you see that dot at the top of the note, that means that it's going to be sharp, right? So pointed and sharp. Then the next note has that line over it, so that means it's going to be just a little bit elongated. So I'm in the second to last measure. There you go. Short, long. All right, now let's talk about this one other thing that I'm looking at. Third measure of the first line, second measure of the second line. What you're going to notice is that there is a tie between two notes, all right? That's not a rhythmic tie. What that is a slur, all right? And when you slur those notes, what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of pull off into that note. So let's look at the third measure. It's annoying me. So third measure, you see the... What I did was I just pulled down, and the note under it, which is the B, sounded just with that motion. All right, now you have that in the second measure, or third measure of the first line, second measure of the third line, third measure of the third line, and it just goes down. Anytime you see this kind of, it looks like a tie, but it's actually two different notes, and the rhythm doesn't make sense. It's actually going to be a tie. All right, so watch out for those. They're everywhere. Let's play it down one more time so you can get in your head. Here we go from the top. Sounds good. More time. hope this video helped, and I will catch you in class, and we will try to kind of polish it up and make it what we want it to be for region auditions. All right, see you soon.